Hey, and how's the day, my wonderful tuners? Thank you for tuning in to a brand new video. This is going to be the first ever Scratch coding tutorial that I'm doing on the channel. And yeah, I hope you enjoy. If you want to see more of this, then please like and subscribe. It shows that you want to see more of these, and it is really hot in here. It's like 90 degrees. I'm very hot, and yeah, if I stutter or forget what I'm saying, it's probably because of the heat. Alright, so today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make your own text generation engine. So this is extremely useful for any games that have tons of dialogue, or if your game has custom text for your username. And because there's like almost an infinite amount of, there's hundreds of possibilities of usernames out there. You can't have a specific, you can't have millions of costumes for the millions of possibilities of different usernames. So you're gonna want your own text engine, and that's what I'm gonna be telling you, or showing you how to do in this video. So as you can see right here, I have a sprite, and this sprite has a ton of costumes on here, and it has 70 costumes. Now each costume, it has every single letter, uppercase and lowercase, and it also has a space. Now this is very important. It's very important that you put a space in the title. Like, don't leave it blank, just have like a space in the name. It also has a period, an exclamation mark, question mark. It also has the numbers 1 through 9. It also has the number 0, and it also has a comma. It has these parentheses, and it also has an apostrophe. Yeah, so if we're going to want to make a sprite with all of these costumes of all the letters and numbers and all the signs that you want, everything uppercase and lowercase, and after you did that, it's time to get into the coding. Alright, so here is the code that I have written for this. I know it looks really intimidating, but we'll like break this down step by step. Alright, yeah, so let's break this down. Alright, so the first thing, the easiest one is, first we're going to want to make a block, and this block is going to be called, oh geez, this block is going to be, we're going to make a block called set pitch. We're going to make a label called set pitch, and then we're also going to want to make a or whatever it's called pitch, and we're also going to want to make a another label called set color and color, and we just want to set set color effect to color and set pitch effect to pitch. Now the way you do this is basically you click up. So if I want to pitch, just click on pitch, and it will magically create a pitch thing, and you can do this as many times as you want. Yeah, so that's how you do that. So we're just going to we're going to want to set the color to color. So let me just drag this out. We want to set the pitch to pitch, so let's drag this out too. So this is the first block done, really simple. Next, we're going to want to do this. This is the most complicated block. Basically, you want to do a text label called text display, like I did. See, like, yeah, here, like I did. So we want text display, and then text, speed, and speed, spacing, space, x, y, and y, size and size. After that, you're going to want to set the size to size. So again, one last time, you want to find the size, you want to drag it, and you'll get this, and you can input that into your block. And after that, you're going to want to hide. And then we also want to make a variable called counter. And we're going to want to set the counter to 0. Make sure it's for all sprites, and it's not cloud. Also, the custom blocks, I don't recommend you don't check run without screen refresh. I think for some reason that makes things like looks pretty slow, especially if you're like me and you're using the low-end device. Don't run without screen refresh. Just keep the box unchecked. Next, you're going to want to make the block go to X, and then our X value, Y, and our Y value. And now you're going to want to make a if-else statement. Now, basically, what I did is I had two different settings. You have talk sounds, or like do you want sounds or do you don't want sounds. So we're going to make a variable called text sounds, and then it's text sounds is going to have two values, true and false. So we're going to make an if-else statement, and we're going to ask if does text sounds equals true or false. If it's false, then we're going to want to repeat length of text, and also feel free to pause the video if you need it to find all of the blocks that you need. So we're going to do repeat length of text, change counter by 1, switch costume to letter of counter of text. And then don't get intimidated, alright? I know this looks very intimidating, it's very scary, it looks very complicated, but I promise you, it's quite simple, really. I'm gonna say what every single Redstone YouTuber says, it's quite simple. Just don't be afraid. I'm gonna walk you through it step by step, and I'll explain what each block does. But just follow along, and I promise you won't get lost. Alright, so now we're gonna want to do another if-else statement. So right now when we run this script, it's gonna set the size to our size value. It's going to hide. It's going to set the counter to 0, the counter value to 0. It's going to go to X value, go to Y value, and then it's going to run an if-else statement that's going to ask whether or not you want sounds or you don't want sounds. So right now, if the sounds equals false, if text sounds equals false, it's going to repeat the length of text. So if our text message has, I don't know, for example, say 18 letters, it's going to repeat this 18 times because it's the length of text. So it's going to repeat the amount of letters that's in our message. It's going to change the counter by 1, and it's going to switch the costume to the letter of the counter of the text. Or basically, it's just going to switch to the current letter that it's going to type. And then we're going to put in another if-else statement. I know this looks really long, but basically it's really just this. So it's just a blank equals blank. So if letter, let's see, if letter of counter of text equals, and then a period, and then we're going to put an or, and then we're going to duplicate this, and oopsie. And instead of a period, we're going to make a comma. And now we're going to put these into the different slots. So now it looks something like this. And now we're going to duplicate it again, and we're going to change the comma to a question mark and an exclamation mark. And then we're going to make another OR statement, and we're going to combine these two together, and we'll get this giant piece of code. Alright, so then you want to take that and put it into your if-else statement. And after you put it into your if-else statement, for the first one, you're going to want to put a make clone of myself, change x by size multiplied by 0.14, and wait 0.6 seconds. So what this is doing, it's checking if the current letter or the current symbol inside of the text is either a comma, a period, or an exclamation mark, yada yada yada. And what it's doing is it's asking if is the current letter or is the current character that's being typed one of these. And if it is, it's going to create a clone of itself. It's going to change its position by its size multiplied by 0.14, and it's going to wait 0.6 seconds. And I'm just gonna take a quick drink because it's really hot in here. Don't forget to stay hydrated. Staying hydrated is very important. Alright, so if it's not, it's going to actually wait speed seconds, create clone of itself, and instead it's going to change x by size times space. Alright, now you're going to want to do basically the same thing. Repeat length of text and change counter by 1. Switch costume to letter counter of text. Basically copy the same thing to here, but now you're going to want to, now this is going to be for the sound. You're going to want sound this time. So what I did is I went into this Scratch library and found this sound. It's actually a piano key. It's the sound of a piano, but I cut it down so it's just this. And this is going to be the sound that our text makes when a character is like talking or something. So you're going to want to wait speed seconds, create clone of myself, start sound, the sound that you made, change x by size multiplied by 0.14, and wait speed plus 0.6 seconds. Actually, in fact, I'm actually going to revise this. Alright, I'm going to revise this. So we're going to wait. Speed. No. Wait speed seconds, like it says here. Create clone of ourselves. And then we're going to want to change wait speed plus 0.6 seconds. Just refining it, making it basically the same. And then next, we also want to, because this version or this setting contains sound, we don't want it to play a sound when there's a space, because you don't talk, you don't make a sound when you're making a pause. So we don't want it to play any sound when there's a space in our text. So we're going to make another if-else statement, and we're going to do basically the same thing before with the letter counter of text equals. And this time we want to put a space in it. It's very important that you don't leave this blank. You actually type space into it. Otherwise, it won't detect it, and the script won't work. And you want to wait speed seconds, create clone of myself, change x by size multiplied by space. Alright, and now in the other else section, we're going to want to wait speed seconds, create clone of myself, change x by size multiplied by space, and start sound whatever sound. So yeah, there you go. The hardest part of the entire thing basically done. You just learned how to do the most hard and complicated thing and the most hard and complicated script in the entire engine. So congratulations, give yourself a pat on the back. You've successfully gotten through all of this. Alright, now for the next script that we're going to want to do is this. Text show time, text show time, text pause time, text pause time. So what this script does, it basically controls how long you want the text to be shown on screen, and how long you want, how much time you want one line, like between one line and the next. Here, I'll show you later. But basically, it's really simple. You just want to wait time show time seconds, set text clear to yes, wait text pause time seconds, set text clear to no. And you're going to want to make a when I start as a clone script, you're going to want to show, and then forever if text clear equals yes, then delete this clone. So what this script is doing, it's basically it's going to constantly check whether or not text clear, the value of text clear is equal to yes or positive. So if it is, it's going to delete this clone, essentially clearing the entire message. So let's get to the actual message part. So to make a message show up on screen, now that basically all of our code is done, feel free to change some of the settings if you want to. But yeah, so now it's time, the moment of truth. It's time to actually make text show on screen. So you're going to want to do when flag clicked, and then you're going to want to set counter to 0, and then you want to set talk sounds to yes or no, right? No, false or true, because that's what we put for here. So it's basically asking, do you want there to be dialogue sounds? So for this first test, we're going to want to put it to true, because yes, I do in fact want there to be sounds. So once you put that in there, you're going basically all dialogue from now on, it's going to follow a specific order of our 3 blocks. First, we're going to want to make a set pitch, set color block, and then we're going to want to make a display text block, and then we're going to put in our text show time block. And now here's what we do. So first, I want to set the pitch to 100. Let's say 100. So right now, our current sound, it's kind of low. It's an F note. It's an F note on the piano. So say we want our character that's talking to be, we want them to be more feminine. So if we want if you want it to sound more feminine, we just increase the pitch. So let's set the pitch to like 100 and 150. That sounds pretty high. And because we made our text the color red, we can change the RGB value, or we can change the color value of our text to make it different colors. So instead of making tons of different sprites for every single color, we can just set the color value or the RGB value to a specific number. So because it's red, if I want the text to be like light blue, I'll set the color value to 90. And instead of being the color red like we see in the costumes, it'll be the color blue or light blue-ish. If I remember my scale correctly. If my memory is correct, then that should be the right scale. Alright, and now we're going to want to display text. So this is where you're going to put the text that you want to show. So I'm going to say subscribe to Hexatunes. And then if you want there to be multiple lines at once, you can do 2 ones. So wow, commas, pauses, commas, and new lines. And then the speed value, this is going to be how fast we want it to be played. Alright, so this is going to be the speed of how fast you want it to go. So the lower the number, the faster the text is going to go. So I want the speed to be 0.5. So I'm going to do that with all of my blocks. And for the spacing, this is going to be how far apart our letters is going to be. So if you want the letters to be like really jammed and like really close to each other, you're going to want to make the numbers smaller. If you want it to be super far apart and have lots of space in between each letter, you're going to want to make the value bigger. So for ours, 0.12 is a good number. And then for the x and y values, this is going to be the position of your line. So let's just do -100 for x, and then 15 for y, and then -170, and then -10. So this is going to be the position of your lines, and the size is going to be how big your letters are. So let's set those to 100. And now for text show time, this is how long your letters are going to be appearing on screen, and text pause time is how much time is going to be in between each text. So here I'll show you. Basically, so text, display text. Wow, more talking, so cool. And then we're also going to set it to 0.5, 0.05, oops, 2. So you kind of got like a preview of what's going on. But yeah, set this to 0. Let's set the size to 100. Alright, so now if we start, and there we go. That's our text engine. So as you can see, I didn't actually put anything for you. So if we wanted, so let's set this to 2 seconds, and let's set this to 5 seconds. And then we'll set the spacing for this to 0.4. So this should be refined. So it's, yep, and as you can see, it's going to wait 3 seconds before the next block shows, or the next text shows. And also, if you've noticed, every time there's a exclamation mark or a comma or anything of that sort, it actually pauses for some time, making it sound like someone's actually talking, which is really cool. And then also, we can change the pitch. So if we want it to be low, we can set the pitch to like -50. And then we can set the color to like 16. And then if we want them to talk slow, we can change that too. And we can make them talk really slow. So yeah, that's pretty cool. You can play around with these settings. This is all for you. This is just like an example, like a demonstration. But you can play around with these values, find what you like, what you think is good, what suits your game. But also, if you want it so that the text only clears and moves on if you click the screen, So if you want that to happen, instead of having a text show time block, you want to instead have a wait until mouse down block, and then set text clear. Wait. I think I have the wrong one. Yeah, text clear. Yeah, with the question mark. Sorry. You're going to want to do text clear to yes. And then wait 0.5 seconds, or like the amount of time that you want. Set text clear to no, and then put in your display text. So now if we go back in, so as you can see, the text isn't clearing because of our new code. So this text will only clear if we click. So if I click, yeah, so now if we click, you see the value of text clear change. So, well, actually that's the wrong one, but yeah. Basically, with this new, if you want it so that the text only changes when you click on the screen, so maybe if you want the text show time, text pause time block is mainly used for like cutscenes or text that you want to progress like at its own pace. So you want it to like move at a specific time. You want to control specifically how long you want to show it on screen and how long you want to like wait until the next text. But this code is for it's going to detect when the mouse is down, and only then will it move on to the next code. Sorry if this video was very boring to watch. It's my first ever coding video, but hopefully this helped you a lot. This is a very essential engine for your games. A lot of games use this. This is my own this is my own version of it, my own version. So if you did enjoy this, then please like and subscribe. Again, it would help the channel a lot. And I don't know if this video will get popular or if people actually want to watch this. But it's a very long video, but I had to cover a lot of important things in this video. And yeah, see you guys in the next one. Bye!